Laura, it is so good to have you back on the podcast. Welcome.
Oh, thank you, Megan. Thank you so much for having me back. I
So good
enjoyed
to
our conversation last
I
time.
know, I did too. I loved it. And this topic is very relevant and kind of a
Yes.
pain point, which leads me to Laura, if people are like, should I listen to this episode or not? What pain point would actually cause them to press play, do you think?
As you say, Pinterest can be an interesting kettle of fish at times, but it's such a great platform for food bloggers and increasing your visibility. So if you're struggling with Pinterest and increasing your recipes visibility, this episode is for you.
Yes, which I think a lot of my listeners can say
Oh,
yes to that. So I think this will get a lot of listens.
okay. I like that.
Would you mind giving us a little bit of a background on who you are and your businesses?
Yes, of course. So my name is Laura. I have worked in Pinterest now coming up 5 years this year. I've helped many food bloggers just from like working with them and managing their accounts with them. And then this last year, I went into more coaching food bloggers on this is like the way I've seen success on Pinterest through my Pinterest management. And the one thing I always find that makes me sometimes a little bit different is I'm in Pinterest every single day working on my management client account. So I'm always seeing what's working and what's not. And we're always testing different things as well. So some things work, some things we tweak a little bit. And then I report that back to the people I'm coaching.
Yeah, so that makes a big difference. You are in there real time, live every day, which
Absolutely
accounts for a lot because you're not just like, guessing or basing it on something that's been happening in the past quarter or whatever. Like you are in there now.
Yeah. Do you know what we manage? I think it's nearly 10 accounts now.
Okay.
And I find really interesting is what works on one account doesn't always necessarily work on another account. So that's why it's really good to get a really good picture across a range of accounts as to what works and what doesn't.
Absolutely. And I know you have a download that you're going to offer for 50% off to eBlog Talk listeners. Do you want to talk about that really quick?
Yes, today I've just launched my brand new Q2 Pinterest Trends Guide. It's one of my most popular downloads. In fact, I had 3 emails just last week asking, where is it? And just for having me back again, I would like to really give your listeners 50% discount code so they can download that with 50% off.
Awesome. And we'll put that in the show notes.
Perfect.
Yes. And I'll just mention the show notes now. I'll mention it again at the end. But if you want to go to those now, it's at eblogtalk.com/Laura Piper 2, since this is your second interview here. So you can find those there.
Perfect.
All right. Well, let's dig into Pinterest, shall we?
Yes, absolutely. Let's tell you everything that's been happening this last year.
We need to know. There was a big update in 2025. Do we want to start there? What happened with that update?
Okay, so in July 2025, Pinterest went from tracking the last 100 user interactions to the last 16,000 interactions, and that's per user. So that's like 160 times more data that Pinterest has. And this has really fundamentally reshaped how pins are getting discovered on the platform. If you think like in your last 16,000 clicks on Pinterest, the different things that you would have clicked on, this is how Pinterest are building a bigger picture on their audience and finding out, right, what is it they're interested in? So someone might have been searching for, say, easy weeknight dinners, and then they might have been looking at something for children. And so then Pinterest are building this picture and then might show them easy weeknight dinners for picky kids or for busy families and things, because it's just getting that much more clever, I suppose, and personalized. And the thing that Pinterest has found, that showing that audience more targeted content has resulted with like a 6.3% increase in saves, because people are saving more because they're seeing more content that's actually relevant to them. it's also increased the overall time that people are spending on the platform. And interesting, this one really made me laugh, that there's been a 12% decrease in pin hides. I was like, I didn't really know people hid pins.
I
But you
didn't
can,
either.
they do have that as a facility. So users are basically happier and are staying on the platform, but they're saving them and they're engaging more as well.
So for the interactions, so you said they went from tracking 100 to 16,000. Does that mean as a user or as a content creator, or all of it?
Sorry, Megan, you froze just then. I didn't catch all of
no.
your question.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Oh, you're back. You're back.
Okay.
Yes, I can.
Sorry about that. So tracking
No.
16,000, does that mean as a user or as a content creator, someone
Yes.
running a business, or all of the above?
I'd say it's probably all of the above, definitely on users. So every user interaction and engagements, like Pinterest tracks engagements on the platform on your pins. I understand it's mostly that. But if you're engaging as a user and a creator, then they're going to be tracking that as well.
So it's however you're engaging.
It is. And engagement is such a really big part for food bloggers and creators to also do on the platform. And that really does help your pins. If you're engaging with other pins in your niche, it does help Pinterest as well, like understand a bit more about your content. So engagement is really, really big on the platform, rather than just putting pins out there. Spend a little bit of time doing some engagement as well, because you will find that that really helps your pin success.
Okay. Yeah. So aside from that, were there any other big changes that were made during that update?
That wasn't the main one. The thing, part of, let me start that bit again.
Yeah.
So it's really affected. The old approach is that we would look at, use broad keywords, thinking that's larger distribution, thinking that if you went for easy weeknight dinners, that's a really high volume keyword. Now, what it means is we need to be so much more specific. And then we're finding Pinterest understands that pin and it knows exactly who to show it to. So if you did take an easy weeknight dinner as an example, easy weeknight dinner for busy families is going to get surfaced better and more than just easy weeknight dinner. If you think there will be millions of pins just today uploaded for easy weeknight dinner, but if you're making it really specific, that helps Pinterest so much more to know exactly who to show it to. I've got a framework which we'll get onto in a moment of how we kind of build out these really longer tail keywords, that gives Pinterest so much more context. But it is a really strange feeling, and I understand this with food bloggers, that broad keywords feel really safe because you think, oh, it's getting in front of a bigger audience. But actually, it doesn't necessarily mean that, because as I say, if you think Pinterest has got 1 million easy weeknight dinner pins just uploaded today, they've got to choose which one of those they're going to show, and they're going to show the ones they've got the most confidence in that their audience is going to engage with. So keywords are really, really important, in giving Pinterest that confidence in actually, my pin is what you need to show your audience, because that's what they're searching for. So yeah, I really understand that this is going to feel really strange. And in fact, you want to be aiming for less impressions. I think it's a really good thing. I think there's lots of little corners now opened up in Pinterest. So you've got like easy weeknight dinners, like freezer dinners, ideas for busy families, from gluten-free, all the different dietary requirements and things. All these little nooks and crannies have all opened up. And it's absolutely fine. You don't need to worry if you're getting less impressions. What you will find is you're getting more clicks and engagement because your pins are being shown to the right audience. And this is the real big difference that we've seen.
Actually, I don't think it'll be received as weird as you think, because this is what
That's
we
good.
went through with Google, right? A few years ago, it was
Yes,
like we were all trying to hit those high volume keywords, and then what started working was the low volume keywords. And yeah, it was just more selected. People were seeing it and actually clicking it. So it's kind of the same concept.
they
And now we're just going through it on Pinterest.
absolutely. But I think the other reason that this has helped, and the other reason this kind of came about, was because of the large influx of AI content. You know, the AI content, people are very good at creating lots of pins very, very quickly, but they're all hitting kind of the top level keywords like chicken recipes, chocolate chip cookies. They're not spending the time looking for the long tail keywords. So this is another reason why it will help real creators get their traffic back from the AI creators as well, because they just will go for the high volume
Right.
keywords. Where if we're putting a little bit more time into finding our keywords, make your recipes stand out. Your recipes are all amazing. You put so much work into them. Let's pick out why people should click on your recipe and not another person's recipe.
Yeah. I hadn't thought of that. Just trying to, counter AI a little bit by making them more human, more complicated, because AI is
Well,
probably going to the simplest version.
exactly. So they're going to just hit whatever the main keyword is. They will back that up with other keywords, but generally on the main pin, they are just the recipe title. Whereas if you've got a 30-minute marry me chicken recipe, by having that extra information on the pin, Pinterest is picking that up. And then if you're doing a search for marry me chicken and you're faced with a sea of very similar recipes, you're more likely to click on, oh, that one's only going to take me 30 minutes, rather than just a marry me chicken recipe. This is why picking this real detailed information out from your recipe is going to make a really big difference to you. And it's giving Pinterest that context now that it's going to understand, so it will show it in the right searches.
Does that carry over into the description as well, or just are you speaking about the title only?
No. So the one thing with Pinterest, I probably talked about this a little bit last year, is repeat, repeat, repeat. You can never repeat your keywords enough with Pinterest. So yeah, definitely you want the clickable information on your pin design. So something that's going to make people want to click. So if you've got like a bread recipe that you can cook in an hour, that's going to get people to click on them. So bring out whether it's gluten free. Quite often I find picking out the time is a really good part of your recipe, because everyone's generally busy, and if you give them that extra information to say you can have this done in 30 minutes, 20 minutes, however quickly it is, I do find those pins get clicked that much more. Then you've got like the dietary requirements, so whether it's gluten free, dairy free. Ones I also find that aren't targeted very much are postpartum meals, freezer meals, and everyone's recipes that they've got will have recipes that will all hit these kind of categories. So it's just finding them and going, okay, let's target that one. And the trends also play a part in this as well.
Yeah, that's really interesting. It used to be where description was just like kind of fill it with the same keywords over and like structured a little bit differently, but now it's
Yeah.
like they're actually reading the descriptions and delivering that pin to really curated people.
Absolutely. And they also read a lot of the page behind the pin. So any way that you the link that you attach to your pin, they're going to read the web page. So they are looking for similar keywords, obviously the recipe title. They go through a lot on that web page, which also backs up their understanding of what your pin is about.
Okay, that's really refreshing, kind of. So the people it's being delivered to, each pin is being delivered to, is smaller, but this is
Yeah.
probably something that we just need to get used to going forward.
Yeah. So don't worry about hitting, the really high volume keywords. It's going to be even harder to rank for them now with all the, as I said, with the AI content and them generating the pins at such an incredible rate. But as I say, we need to get really specific. We're human, and it does make the content that much more humanized. And I find in the pin titles I'm putting on the actual pin design, I've got an awful lot longer. But I think that's a really good thing because it's encouraging, it's giving them that initial bit of information and it's encouraging them and it's making the rest of my pins stand out different to a sea of like the same kind of recipes with just the recipe title. If they've got more information, it's making them click on them.
Okay. Obviously we have a new strategy now for creating titles and descriptions. How do we curate actual pin designs based on this? Do we change that up at all?
It's very interesting. I've kept those pin designs pretty similar. I do find I use the two kind of picture, the top and bottom with the title kind of in the middle. Or I have quite a big title at the top with a background color with generally white writing because that just stands out in the feed that little bit more. And if it's just a one picture pin, or I kind of utilize other corners. If there's little spare corners, I'll put some extra writing in those to say like 20-minute family dinner or something like that. So it doesn't have to just be all in one title. You can kind of spread the information out because then that keeps people's eyes across the whole pin rather than just like scrolling past and they just need to see it in the middle.
Okay.
So that's kind of how I approach the pin design side of things.
But as far as the text that goes on there, the copy, that isn't changing a whole lot.
Yeah, so it's just really making sure I've just got those long tail keywords on the actual pin design. So, and as I say, just little extra bits of information with arrows. I use that as quite a scroll stopping because it just looks a little bit different because people see the arrow and it's like, well, what's that about? And it kind of draws your eye to that particular bit of information as well. So yeah, I try and use up little corners where it's not got too much of the recipe on it.
Great. And you referred to a framework you have before for finding what these keywords are. Can you talk us through that?
I can indeed. So I created this framework to help just really create long tail keywords. So when we're talking long tail keywords, we're saying, we're just getting away from putting the recipe title. So I'm going to use chicken Alfredo as an example. So rather than just putting chicken Alfredo as on your pin design and in your pin title and in your description, what we're going to start with on the pin design, we're going to add a context layer. So this is kind of step 2. And the context layer is when and why your target audience need your recipe. So we're saying these people need the recipe, and it might be time and speed. So it could be 20-minute weeknight dinners. It could be make ahead. It could be the occasion. So it could be any of the holidays. We've got Easter, it could be game day, back to school. So again, if you had a 20-minute cookie recipe for back to school snacks or for back to school snacks, that's how we're kind of building this framework out. So the other one is like problem. So you might have picky eaters, meal prep, and budget friendly type of recipes. And then there's an audience layer. So like, who is this for? Is it for gluten-free, dairy-free? So then is it high protein, low carb? This year, what we are seeing is high protein, low carb and high fiber recipes are really getting some really good traffic. So they are ones that I do tend to focus on quite a bit. Then we've got life stages. So this is all under who is it aimed for? Is it toddler meals, postpartum meals, freezer meals or date night dinner meals? It could be student budget meals or family meals and things like that. So that's who your audience is for. And then the step 4 is the differentiator. So what makes your target audience pick your recipe. And this is going to be really personalized to your recipe. But to give you some examples, it might be one pan. It could be creamy, but without cream. We've done a few soup recipes lately, so it might have or it's chicken casseroles with no condensed soup, or uses pantry staples. So we're just picking out. Now, those 4 steps is a lot to get on a pin design. And what I say to people is go through, and you might have like 20-minute chicken Alfredo dinner for back to school dinners. I would have that on the pin. And then you might have high in protein, uses that pantry staples in the pin title, or add that into there. So it's kind of following through, but you're hitting a couple of different things in like the most important places. At the end of the day, the most important place is the pin design, because when the majority of Pinterest users are using phones or the app to look at Pinterest, they're making the decision to whether to click based on the actual pin design. You can normally see, I think it's the first 64 characters of the pin title underneath when you're doing a search, right underneath the pin. And so I always suggest trying to put something different in that first part of the title that isn't on the pin, because if they're leaning like, oh, that looks interesting, and sometimes just that extra bit of information, oh, it's one pot, or it uses pantry staples, it just makes it sound that bit easier without using the word easy. I think easy has been overused and it's going now. So yeah, we're just getting so much more specific, and hopefully kind of going through that framework hopefully helps understand this is how specific Pinterest is getting. I do have a document that I put together with loads of different keyword ideas for each of these steps, which if you'd like to add that to your show notes, this is just I did it for a masterclass recently when I went through this framework, and it really was helpful to people to see these are loads of different context word ideas, loads of audience ideas, and also some differentiators. So it just gives people ideas of what they could really pick out of their recipes.
Yeah, that's great. And I think this is the way people are thinking now, because this is how we have to think through our blog posts and content in other places as well. So it shouldn't be super hard to find those differentiators, I don't think.
Exactly. And the thing is, it's there. And you guys know your recipes like inside, you've written them. So when I'm doing pins for my clients, obviously I'm going through looking for what am I picking out for this? The one thing that this framework does help you with is you can easily create more than one pin. You can easily create 5 to 10 pins, all aiming for different angles for the same recipe. So it does open up the doors, and that's not even bringing in the seasonal content. We still do focus a lot, obviously, with my trends guide that I've just brought out for Q2. We still do focus on what's coming up in the trends. If you look in the trends recently, you'll notice that a lot of the keywords are getting longer in the trends. I have particularly noticed that as well. So yes, it's bringing this all in together and looking at how much information can I give to Pinterest, that they will then pick my recipe to show it to the right people. It's another example I gave in my masterclass lately was pasta salads. We're just coming into summer, but that gives us so many opportunities. So like pasta salad for picnic ideas, for barbecue side dishes. What else did we have? Summer cookout. So all of these different keywords, it's worth doing a pin, one individual pin for each of those kind of keywords. So then they're really specific to that particular topic.
I love that, actually. It's just more curated, more thought through. Who is this actually for? Who's going to click on this?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's great. Anything else about the framework before I have a couple other questions for you.
Oh, no, that's okay. No, that's pretty much, so we've got, it's just the full
Okay.
step. So you start with your recipe title, we add some context words, who's it for, the audience, and then any differentiators as well.
Okay.
And in the document, I've actually written it out so people can help build their long tail keywords for their recipes in there as well.
Wonderful. So I assume it's okay to go through our old content and start kind of thinking through this concept with old content that we're sitting on.
Absolutely. This is what gives it such a great opportunity to be able to do that, and come up with some fresh angles. It is okay to pin the same URL more than once. You don't just create one recipe, do one pin. You can create a number of pins for the same recipe. From my experience, what I do with my management clients is I'd only put the same URL out twice in 1 week. So I'd only do 2 pins for one recipe to go out, just so that they're not too close together, because Pinterest likes fresh content. We all know that. They've gone on about that for a couple of years now. And by having the different angles gives you fresh content. We just like to space them out. Some people do 1 a week. If you've got plenty of content and you've got lots of recipes, then yeah, I would space them out, do 1 a week. If you've got a brand new recipe, what I do think is a really good idea is to try and create some new boards. And coming onto this really specific keyword situation has affected boards as well. So if you've got boards with thousands of pins on which are like dinner recipes or dessert recipes, let's get those boards a little bit more specific, because again, the board plays such a big part in Pinterest understanding what the content is about. So I've been, for example, creating boards for summer barbecue side dishes, and then we've had Easter side dishes. So it gives you much more opportunities throughout the years to create, or throughout the year even, to create brand new pins for that same recipe. And by putting them on different boards as well, really helps keep the content fresh, which is what Pinterest likes.
They do like that word fresh. They always have.
They do.
Yes, I know. How far in advance should we be publishing pins? Let's say we're thinking about Mother's Day. Is that something we should think about? Like, it used to be like 3 months, and then it was 8 weeks, and I don't know. What is it now?
No, it's a very good question, because I've got Mother's Day in my planner, and I think that's starting from 1st of April is you want to be pinning Mother's Day, because I think Mother's Day for you guys is around the 10th of May. I got that about right from memory. Like I only did this yesterday. It's about then. So yeah, you want to allow at least 4 weeks. 3 weeks is fine. For Pinterest to understand what your pin is about. What you'll notice if you look in your Pinterest account now and scroll down, you can almost see where the 3-week mark is, because suddenly your pins will start getting a lot more engagement and impressions. And that's because that's the point at which Pinterest has understood those other pins and they're showing them more. Your pins will always get some initial engagement because they are showing to your followers, and they will appear in searches because Pinterest is testing the water with them. But once Pinterest has really understood them, there's a really big difference, and you'll see kind of like a mark in your Pinterest account as to where Pinterest has understood to. But yes, you want to be, so if we're Mother's Day at the 10th of May, you've only probably got you want to be pinning those recipes now, and probably then finishing around the 15th of April at the very latest. But yeah, you need to at least build in that 3-week understanding period for Pinterest. Plus, Pinterest users are planners. So yeah, you want to be getting that content on there early. And this is exactly what my trends guide really goes into. You need to start pinning this one now. Would you believe in the Q2 planner, we've even got fall content to start pinning, because fall is such a huge trend that we start pinning that at mid-June, I think it was. So
yeah, I was going to ask that. Is there a time frame that's too soon? Like, could we do apple recipes and pumpkin now, or would that be just weird?
Um, some people do say that, not weird, but they do say they do pin it really early, like now. I think the thing is, I wouldn't suggest doing that, and I don't do that for my clients, only because if it doesn't get any engagement, it's going to end up in Pinterest pin graveyard. And so when people are thinking of summer and engaging in those, they might see the odd pumpkin recipe and different things, but they're not going to be engaging in them. And so I always say, let's give a really good runway. So you want that 3 weeks plus a good couple of months, because people do think ahead. But yeah, you do want to get that initial engagement so it doesn't end up in Pinterest pin graveyard where it hasn't done anything. So I do agree that you can pin too far ahead. Not everybody would agree with me on that one, but I think you can.
So as far as trends go, do you use, I mean, I know you have your guide that is going to be helpful, but do you also recommend people go into Pinterest trends and just keep an eye on that?
Absolutely. It changes. So they update it every week now. And what you want to be doing is, from our last conversation, is when you go into Pinterest trends, is look at the seasonal trends, not the growing trends, because the growing trends is over the last 90 days. So that's, big trends that have been popular in the last 90 days. So it could have been something in January, like, or even probably February, we had Valentine's Day, and I know there's still occasionally some game day kind of keywords and things going around the trends. So it's sometimes a useful one to have a look at. You sometimes get more individual recipes come up in growing trends. So it's one to keep an eye on, but to have a plan of your content as to what's coming up, you want to be looking in seasonal trends.
Okay.
Particularly because that's in the last 30 days, and that's giving you a much better picture of what's coming up as well.
And you kind of talked through how to use that seasonal trends dashboard the last time we talked. So if anyone is listening and they're like, I don't even know how to navigate this, go listen to that for that part only, because I think that was really helpful. I remember that being very insightful.
No, definitely, because that tool is so useful, and there's so many different things. And don't forget that you can search by keyword. So if you had cookies, search for cookies in the seasonal trends, and you get all the cookie recipes that are currently trending, and it takes everything else out, so you actually see that little bit more. So we do that now an awful lot, and I'm sure I would have mentioned that last year, but I thought I'd just mention that again, because it's like the same for if I was just had cookie recipes, but if I had side dishes, I'd put side dishes in, and it gives me everything that's in the seasonal trends for side dishes.
And then adding a differentiator to that, right? So maybe
when you're using the trends, keep it really short, because you want to see a bigger picture. But when you're using the trends, so if you had I'm just trying to think some of the things I've done today. So like summer salads, I would just put salad recipes and see what comes up. And then that gives me lots of different ideas as what's coming up in the trends as well. But it takes everything else out, because when you look at the trends, it just gives you the top performing trends, and that's great. But when you search for a specific term, it takes all those other bits out that's not of interest and gives you a bigger list just for that.
But like, let's say we're searching summer salads and broccoli salad comes up, and then we want to take maybe broccoli salad, if that's trending, and put our own differentiator on it when we're publishing it. Okay.
Absolutely. That's the best thing to do. So use the trends to try and determine which recipes to do pins for, and then start adding your differentiators to it. So it might be no mayo, or it might be done in 30 minutes, or whatever it is, or for cookouts. So
okay. Oh gosh, I just feel like there are so many things that I hear about. Is there anything else we need to know? Any little nitty-gritty details or things that are changing this year that we haven't talked about?
The one thing I would say, I know I touched on this, is boards. I started to talk about this a lot, particularly on my own Instagram account, because people don't necessarily realize the impact your board actually has in Pinterest understanding the content. So making them really specific. What I always say is if you've got a good 5 or 6 recipes that would fit a board, that's enough to create a new board. I had a conversation with someone recently and they're like, oh, but I can only have 20 boards. I'm like, no, you can have 2,000 boards. Don't suggest it, but keep it relevant to your content. And just to give you some ideas, like I would set up like Easter side dishes, and I'll do summer barbecue side dishes or summer barbecue and cookout side dish. I might put those two together because they're so similar. You might have picnic ideas, and so that it might have the same recipe, but they could go on those different boards. And then you obviously using the keywords, say like picnic food idea on the actual pin and the title and the description. But yeah, if you're hitting picnic idea on the board and on the pin, giving Pinterest that confidence that it's, oh, we really understand this. This is picnic. When they've got that confidence, they're more likely to surface your pin against something else that might not. It might go on a summer recipes board, but still be picnic on the pin title or on the design. That's not. You're kind of missing a really, really big point there. Does that make sense? So that's one thing. Yeah, we're taking the specificness on the keywords into the boards for sure.
Okay, that's good to know too. Is there anything that you see high-performing Pinterest food creators doing right now outside of, the keyword thing that we've talked about that is setting them apart?
Yes, creating really popular recipes. It is worth having a look on TikTok to see what is trending on there, and then creating pins for them, because things will trend on TikTok first before they then hit the other platforms. If you can get a recipe done and onto Pinterest, if you've got something unique and people start searching for it, then your pin will do really well. I find this a lot. I have one client who's fantastic at creating Starbucks recipes, and quite often she gets in with a brand new one before it's even been released, and we find those pins just do amazingly well because it's something that's new to Pinterest. So that's something I've been doing a lot more of, is having a look at what's trending on TikTok. And I don't know if anyone's seen the Japanese it's a yogurt cheesecake, I think they call it. It's called the Japanese. It's 2 ingredients, but you put Biscoff biscuits into it, and they go mad on Instagram. Not on Instagram, on TikTok.
Okay.
And then they're going over to Pinterest. So yeah,
Great.
I'm seeing more and more of those pins. Another one that I'm starting to see come through onto Pinterest now it's called chocolate crunch cake. So it's like a chocolate cake with chocolate cornflakes on the top. And that's been doing really well on TikTok, and is now starting to come through. I've included some of these in the trends guide as well, so people can see. But the one thing we are seeing is, as I said earlier, high protein recipes, high fiber recipes. They are really doing well. So if you've got recipes that are high fiber and high protein, really go back and revisit those and create some new pins for those and a new board to go with it.
Yeah, that's great. Really good. So I'm pulling out that trends are very important right now for Pinterest. That's kind of a key takeaway.
Yes, trends are really important. And because it's keeping the content fresh and giving them a new angle as well. So yeah, absolutely. That's how I always manage my clients' accounts, and it works. I was coaching people at the end of last year, and they had some amazing successes. At Q4, we had a great time, and a lot of that was down just getting our content on the platform early, and really getting into those keywords as well and letting Pinterest understand them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of a new way of thinking, isn't it? Just redoing the whole Pinterest strategy, the way we used to manage Pinterest versus the new way to do it.
Absolutely. But
Yeah.
as you said earlier, that it's becoming a lot more like Google.
Yeah.
I
It
do
is
find
feeling
that
like that.
I do find they do follow in like Google's footsteps.
Hmm. Yeah,
Um,
that's actually helpful because we can kind of remember how things went with Google, and maybe Pinterest will just keep following a similar path.
Absolutely. And I think even like the systems that they use behind to kind of determine content. I know Pinterest has created a back-end system that understands the pins, which is also very similar to how Google's system works. They're just going through a patent process on that as well. So yeah, watch the space.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there anything else we've left out that would be helpful, do you think, Laura?
Um, What else have we talked about? So the other thing to mention, and I can talk about this all day, is AI on Pinterest. I don't know whether your users know that Pinterest brought out this facility where you can actually turn off seeing AI content on the platform. I was so pleased to see that. Not everybody wants to see AI, and for me, if I was searching for, and this happened, found an outfit on Pinterest and it never existed anywhere
Yeah, right.
because it was created by AI. And there's nothing more frustrating than that. And
Yeah.
AI cannot create recipes. Let's just put that out there right now. They
Yes.
cannot.
Hmm.
And they don't test them. So, yes, I would tell people, do not worry about AI on Pinterest. Yes, it got a bad name of AI slop, but I think that kind of happened across a lot of platforms. I was really pleased to see Pinterest take this particular stance and give people the opportunity to turn it off. So if you go to your settings,
Hmm.
you can refine your recommendations. And if you click on that, you get some tabs along the top, which one of them is Gen AI, I think it is. And then you'll get a list of lots of different niches. And basically, you just toggle all of those niches off if you don't want to see AI on the platform.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say,
No.
where do we find that in our settings to refine recommendations?
So if you click on, when you're in Pinterest and you can see your pins in front of you, if you click on your picture on the top, or not
Okay.
next to your picture, I think there's a down arrow. And if you click on that, it will take you to settings. You just click on settings.
Okay. Setting. Okay.
And then
Yep.
on the left-hand side, there's a menu. And one of those menu things is refine recommendations.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah. And then at the top, when you then get that page, there's some little bubbles along the top, and one of which is Gen AI interest, I think it is.
Yeah.
And now you'll get a list in front of you of all the different niches that you can
Okay.
turn AI off in.
So if you're turning it on, you're turning it off. If you're turning the on.
Yeah, I think they come
Okay.
odd on, and then you can scroll them to off.
Okay. That's so funny. My food and drinks is set to off, but everything else.
Yeah, the
Interesting.
food and drink has only just been released. When they released this at the end of last year, I was very upset that food and drink was not on their list, because it's probably one of the biggest niches that you get the AI content in. But that has recently been added, so I was very pleased to see that. The one thing I was just going to say to your audience is just keep an eye on your pins. Do scroll down your existing pins regularly, and just check that you haven't got any tag on the left-hand corner that says AI generated. If you have, and it isn't AI generated, just contact Pinterest and say that this pin is not AI generated, and they take the tag off. If you have the tag on and people have turned off seeing AI, they may not see your pin as much.
And what does the tag look like, in case somebody doesn't know?
So it's, if you look at your pins, so you look at a pin at the bottom left-hand corner, it's like a little grey bubble that will say Gen AI on it. And if you see that little bubble, it's a little grey bubble on the left-hand side of the pin at the bottom.
Okay.
Then you just go to their Pinterest help desk and give them the the URL for that particular pin to say this is not generated by AI. I did it myself.
Nice. Yeah, that's helpful. Yeah, it's like a whole new world out there with AI, isn't it? All of these little things really do help, though.
It is. I am not against AI. I just don't feel that it's there for taking over content creators in particular, but only because you cannot replicate a tested recipe at all. And the same, like, as I said, even in the fashion side of things, people, if they find something that, well, that looks nice, they want to be able to go and buy it. And so I'm not against it. I do use it.
Yes, I know. It's a great tool. It's a learning curve, and there are a lot of things we're learning as we navigate this together, right?
Absolutely. And I think, I use AI more and more, but I think, it's definitely not there until the point it can make recipes. You guys have never got anything to worry about.
Right. I do sometimes test it just to see, and it's like, yeah,
Do you?
I don't know. I wouldn't make that without someone to back that up, a real human to say that this worked.
I just think, for me, life's really busy with 2 young children. I don't want to go spend a load of money on a load of ingredients for it then not to work out.
Yeah,
so I'd like to know that, it has been properly created, tested, and I can follow a recipe.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Everything you just said. Well, thank you. This is so great. This gives me so much to think about. And I know people are just going to devour this episode. So we really appreciate your time and your information.
It's been a pleasure. Honestly, I love sharing the things that I learn on Pinterest, and we're learning every day. No, thank you.
Absolutely. And if people want to get in touch with you about, are you taking clients for managing food accounts?
I do, yes. If you come over to Instagram and drop me a DM, we can have a chat. And then I'm also doing more coaching as well, and taking people through my exact processes so they can see, and I work with them as well. So it's kind of like done with you as well as done for you.
Awesome. And what's your Instagram handle?
I'm at my mind's gone blank. I'm at food bloggers, Pinterest for food bloggers. I should know that.
Pinterest for food bloggers. Awesome.
Yes.
And Laura Piper. So check that out if you're interested. And just thank you for everything. We will put together a show notes page, like I mentioned earlier, for you, Laura, if you want to go peek at those and get that 50% off Laura's download.
Yes.
You can head to eblogtalk.com/LauraPiper2 and get that there. And then you mentioned Instagram. Your website is
laurapiper.co. So just CO. Yes.
Yep. And otherwise, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for listening, food bloggers. I will see you next time.